Hello and welcome back to Three Houses, Silver Snow, Ashen Wolves. We are on Chapter 11. Before we get to that, we have one support. Show off. Ferdinand and Constance be support.
Hello, Constance.
Greetings, Ferdinand. My condolences on your misfortune that our paths have crossed again.
Oh, dear. I am not used to hearing you deprecate yourself like that. Never mind. Just listen.
If it is an audience you require, I will endeavor to meet that need.
When we last spoke, I was attempting to connect with you, to listen and show you some empathy. But I was so clumsy with my words that I came across as callous and conceited. I hurt you. I know.
The notion that a noble of House Eyre could display arrogance is
Very
difficult
difficult.
to credit. That you even deign to speak to me is a testament to your humility. As grateful as I am for the honor, it would be best for us both if I
Okay,
took my leave.
like, there's... Given... I don't actually think that she intends for this to be sarcastic because she's, like, in her, like, sad mode, but, like, Ferdinand has got to read that as sarcastic, right? Like, there's no way if you couldn't read that as sarcastic, given, like, you don't know about her sad mode and, like, you're this super arrogant guy, like, and she's also like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you, peace out. Oh my gosh. Like, that comes across as such a sick burn, even though I don't think she means it that way, which is hilarious.
No, please, hear me out. Though your words chafed, I see now that they were perceptive.
Okay, I guess actually, come to think of it, Ferdinand is generally too dense to pick up on those things anyway. Oh well.
I tend to overcompensate. Perhaps I make a fool of myself, bragging about my superiority to Edelgard.
You do yourself a disservice. If you are a fool, then I am folly herself. But you must know that it is no reflection on your sterling quality, Ferdinand. Even in the face of such adversity, you never strayed from the correct path.
If this was the right path, the wrong path hardly bears thinking about. Still, your kindness has eased my worries a bit.
A wise noble once said that life is a series of peaks and valleys, but I have struggled to find the peaks. I was once pushed to the nadir of a valley, and have spent my days confined there ever since. There is little chance that I will ever return to the heights I once knew, but it will not be for lack of trying.
Your persistence is admirable.
You are too gracious. I see the highest of peaks on your own road. The way is steep, but not long. You will reach it yet. And if my words might reach the ears of a man who has attained such heights, perhaps one who has reached his summit might pull a climber up behind him? Such is my heart's desire. Unspeakable.
You call it
though may
unspeakable.
be.
Ferdinand is confused, understandably so. I actually feel like that was, how do I say this? Constance's sad mode, like, she praises everyone else because it's like, oh, I'm so lowly and therefore you must be great by comparison. But I feel like she went beyond that this time to like actually not just say like, oh, Ferdinand, you're great, you're wonderful, but also to say like, you're gonna like accomplish these things. I mean, it wasn't very specific, so maybe it's just a logical extension of the same thing, but saying like, you know, you haven't reached this peak yet, but you're gonna get there is like actually like pretty supportive, not just sort of like, I mean, it could be seen as empty praise, I guess, or empty support, but like it comes across as a little bit more meaningful than just saying, oh, you have sterling quality and I'm, you know, mud on your boots or whatever. I don't know. It's maybe there's a little bit more going on when she's in sad mode than just the like the sadness. Like maybe she actually maybe she can actually like see things in people that she doesn't normally pay attention to or something like that. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go load up my battle preps. Be right back. All right, here we are, chapter 11. It is indeed a defeat boss map, and Edelgard does in fact start on the map, contra what I at least suggested might be the case when I was talking about it last chapter. However, she is very far away, and there are a lot of enemies in between her and us, which means that using the same strategy from last time of like flinging Byleth down, having her attack, and then having Constance follow up is not really going to work, at least not on turn 1. So we're going to use a little bit of a different strategy, which involves the fact that Hanneman has now learned Meteor, helpfully in time. Before we get to that, we've got to talk about some new units, starting with Seteth. So Seteth is kind of sort of our like Claude, Dimitri, Edelgard replacement, in that he's the closest thing that we have to like the Lord character, and is also available next chapter, which is actually a lot of what I'm doing in this chapter is basically just to prepare for next chapter, because next chapter is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Seteth is pretty good out of the box. Good bases. His speed is merely like serviceable. It compares, you know, like a lot of my units right now are in like the 19 to 22 speed range, so he's, you know, right there with him. 27 strength and 22 defense though are both excellent. And there's not really anybody who compares to that. Balthus has got the strength, doesn't quite have the defense. Yuri, it's not particularly close. I guess most of my other characters aren't really going for strength-based builds anyway. I mean, I guess Byleth has almost as much strength, but nowhere near as much defense. Of course, she has a lot more speed, but anyway. And obviously, he's a Wyvern. That's great. You know, best class or class line, since he's not the mastery yet, but in the game. And his skills are very much tuned to that, and I don't see any reason to change that. I mean, you know, if you want to make Seteth something else because you think it's, like, neat or whatever, like, you know, more power to you. But especially if I'm not grinding, like, I can't see any argument for doing that myself. So, yeah, I've got an experience gem on him. I'm planning to try to power level him a bit next chapter, because, I mean, I gotta, like, kill a lot of enemies anyway, so I might as well, yeah, get some extra XP out of it. And insofar as that is the case, I am hoping that he will come out the other side with, like, good enough stats that, you know, he's gonna seem pretty unbenchable from that point forward. Maybe he will anyway, and he might be force deployed, you know, beyond just next chapter. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I expect him to be a key member of the team from this point forward. Next, we've got Catherine. So Catherine also has excellent bases, 24 strength and 17 defense without cooking. Aren't, you know, quite as good as Seteth, but they're certainly still up there, and obviously 28 speed is excellent. The big problem for Catherine is her skills and classes. The sword rank she has is fine. The brawl rank she has is really not useful because she cannot go into a brawling focused class because they're all male only. I guess the exception to that is War Cleric, but like she would need to train axes and faith, and also I don't think it's a particularly good class anyway, so no. So in terms of sword classes, of course, you've got like the classic problem that, you know, Mortal Savant is not a very good class, and you know, most of the other sword using classes require some other skill that she does not have and doesn't particularly have an affinity for, like Assassin, which requires bows, or well, Mortis Levant itself requires magic, so does Trickster. And then Swordmaster, I mean, is statistically it's a fine class, but it's 5 movement footlocked with no like utility. And while I can imagine fielding her in that context on a particularly combat-heavy chapter, in general, I just don't really see that being like what I want. When I compare that to some of the utility that my other units can bring, like Hanneman with the Meteor, Flane with the Rescue, Manuela with the Warp. So my plan is to make her a Falcon Knight, which is hardly an original plan, but that's what I'm going for. It's going to take her a while to get there, and I anticipate that I'm either going to only field her once she has at least Pegasus Knight, if not Falcon Knight, or possibly never field her, depending on how things look. And maybe just use her as an adjutant, like, for flyers. But we'll see what happens. I'm open to the possibility that she will become, like, a core member of the party, but I'm not expecting it at this point. And then we've got Cyril. Cyril has a lot of the same problems, except worse. His bases aren't quite as bad as they look because he doesn't have the class bonuses from being in a reasonable class because he starts as a commoner. But that in and of itself is its own problem because he can't really certify for anything great out of the box because his skill levels are pretty pitiful. He's only got like the axes and bows. He wants to be, a Claude style like wyvern riding bow user, but he doesn't have any starting flying rank, even though he does have the boon. So really what you want to do is recruit him on a route where you can recruit him, in like Chapter 6 or whenever it is, and then train those things up then, and get him to like Wyvern Rider by this point. But we are not anywhere close to being able to do that. So all he can really certify for right now is intermediate stuff, which I'm not going to field that anyway. So, yeah, basically, he's going to try to be a Wyvern, but my expectation is I'm never going to field him, and maybe at best, at some point, he becomes an adjutant for somebody. Yeah, that's about it for Cyril. But yeah, we just got, like, if you look at, like right now we have 10 deployment slots, and we have 13 units that we would definitely field before Cyril, and Anna even maybe because she's got rescue. I don't know. So it doesn't really look great for his chances to ever do anything. The other thing I should mention is stat boosters. I gave Balthus a Black Pearl to boost his charm a little bit, mostly for like defensive purposes, so that he can't get gambited as easily. I gave Constance a Goddess Icon that boosts her hit rate by +2, which is not a lot, but it, every little bit helps, and bolting is not a very accurate tome. So she's got lower luck and dex than Happy, who also struggles with hit rates at times, which is why, well, that plus the fact that she has the bolting in the first place is why I went with that. We've got the Caduceus stuff, by the way. Happy's got that. That was a reward from the Sadathan Flame Paralog, so that's actually pretty instrumental in what I'm going to be doing this chapter. And then all of my other stat boosters went to Byleth in anticipation of next chapter. So I gave Byleth a Seraph Robe and 4 speed carrots, which I really wanted to give to Seth. But after some testing, I determined that, like, Seth is going to get doubled by most of the enemies next chapter, kind of regardless of what he does. But Byleth, with 4 speed carrots and the speed ring equipped, well, with 3 speed carrots and the speed ring equipped, can double every enemy on the next chapter with darting blow. The fastest enemy is 38 speed. The slowest enemies are like, well, there's some enemies that are 24 speed. There's some enemies that are 29. So like, Seth wasn't going to double anything anyway, not without proccing some speed level ups. Actually, there's one enemy that has 19 speed that he could have doubled, but anyway. Byleth, yeah, will be able to double everything. If she procs speed once, she can double everything on player phase without needing to use the speed ring. And also just having more speed for enemy phase, when she's not using Darting Blow, means like potentially she can equip the Silver Lance and not get doubled, which is pretty important in terms of damage output. So, yeah, I mean, and she has to be generally the one enemy facing, because even though Seth has more like durability, he is getting doubled by things, and giving him those speed carrots in general is not going to change that. Plus, Byleth has much better avoid between avoid plus 10, which Wyvern does not have, and alert stance. She's also got Swordbreaker. I guess Seth also has Swordbreaker, yeah. So that, but yeah, Byleth's skills are very much kitted out for next chapter. Like no Axebreaker, no sword prowess, even, because all of the enemies next chapter are either sword users or gauntlet users or archers. So, I mean, it would be nice to have sword prowess, like, because she's got level 4 sword prowess, although she's about to get level 4 lance prowess anyway, but I guess not about to, she's got a ways to go, but yeah, like, I only have so much room, so, so that's what I'm kind of setting up for. So, yeah, Byleth, even faster now. It's sad because, like, if I could get Seth's speed up and he could start doubling things, it'd be so good, but that's not going to happen. I guess you can double, like, Armor Knights and stuff. Anyway, in terms of who we are bringing this chapter, the basic idea is that we're going to bring, like, our core units. Seth is going to get some training in, not very much, but a little, and then Hanneman, Shamir, Flane, Linhardt, they're all helping actually kill the boss, so they're all pretty instrumental. Surprisingly enough, Manuel's Warp doesn't turn out to be relevant. Maybe I could have done it with that instead, but the way that I got it set up works, so that's what I'm going with. One thing that occurs to me is that I may want to switch out one of my adjutants here. So, I mean, on the one hand, it's nice to train up like Manuela. On the other hand, Dorothea actually can do some stuff, and if she gains like a point of magic, that could actually be relevant. So I think I'm going to change. Let's see. Now we've got Shamir, Alois, Hanneman. I want to do Hanneman, Dorothea, I think. And then the question is, would I rather be leveling Alois or Manuela? That is a good question. I think probably Manuela, actually. So let's switch to... There's not really anybody for her to support other than Hanneman. That's also true of Dorothea. Oh, Yuri. Okay, let's go with that then. Yuri, Dorothea. Hanneman. Oh, wait. Actually, it might be better to do Linhardt. Because Shamir only gets to make one attack and Linhardt gets to dance twice. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Alright. I think we're finally ready to get started.
I have a report.
Within
the enemy
the
is
walls.
within the walls.
Oh
They're
my
about to
god.
break the defensive line.
They get in there.
Knights, soldiers, students,
Defend the front line and the Archbishop with your lives until help arrives.
That's quite a thing to ask of the students, really.
Reinforcements are on the way. Hold fast.
Okay, so what we want to do here is advance everyone to just outside of the range of these enemies, except for Byleth, who's going to go into Ladislava's range, but while killing these 3 enemies, that's the most important thing to set up for next turn. So we're going to start having Happy come down and hit this enemy. And then
To work.
Shamir is going to shoot this one. And Byleth.
Stay focused.
He's 7. Let's move Constance first. Maybe I should have moved Constance before I moved Happy, for that matter, but I guess it worked out, so it doesn't really matter. So let's have Constance come down and kill this guy. Provide some support here. Ow! Alright. Can't have that. Alright, Yuri, what's your hit rate here? Probably not. That is a little bit better. But let's have Sedith burn that RN, because he has, I think, 100% hit rate here with Focus Strike. Alright.
Stay focused.
There we go. And then Yuri... Oh wait, we need to do this first.
Battle.
Dance for Constance.
So sorry.
I think I'm improving.
And Yuri needs to be back here so that Constance can be on the spot in front of him.
The sun.
And Constance can one-shot this guy. Doesn't even need the magic staff to do it. Boom. Back to here. Flame is going to come down. Rescue Balthus so that he can take out that archer. This way.
Let me at him.
And finally,
My turn.
we need to do some trading with Hanneman. We want to give Byleth a sword, and we want to... So, for next chapter, we want... let me double check the movement on this, because I haven't actually... Let's see, so he's got 7, he'd go down to 6, then plus 5 is 11 when he gets tried next turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hanneman would be here. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. And then he's here, and then Constance goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11. Right, okay. So we don't need to have the March Ring at all. So yeah, we're gonna take this from Linhart, and we're going to trade it to Byleth. And then we're gonna put this in the convoy so that we have it available for next chapter. And then I guess we could also... Huh. One... Why do I have so many swords left in the convoy? So... Forget to give items to Petra or something? I don't know. Basically, you get all of your inventory repaired the beginning of next chapter, like for all of the students as well as Byleth and Seth. So if I give like another item to Linhardt, it'll get repaired. I'm just a little bit confused about why I have so many things in here that I thought I had given out all of the like forged weapons, or at least almost all of them. I guess not. Well, whatever, I guess. Right, let's trade this to Linhardt, and then trade Byleth, E-Sword, and trade Wind equipped. We're gonna rally Linhardt for support.
Very helpful.
My life was changed forever.
Oof. Critical rock? Didn't even know that was possible. Dang. Church Soldier's getting destroyed. This is like way... Oh my god! What the heck?
Forgive me, everyone. My battle.
I don't know what to do about that. They had so many crits. What the heck? Ladislava crit, the Onager guy crit, the guy with the tomahawk crit, and then that guy crit. Like, what is? What? How do I use more? RNs, I don't even know. That's just unfair. Like, I actually don't know that I can do anything about this. I'm looking at Balthus. Like, that's the only place where I could think, like, maybe... Maybe if he can... He can't quad that archer, it's too fast. Oh gosh. Like, I might actually have to restart the chapter. What the heck? Alright, well, let me check.
Let me at him.
Like, I don't... Okay, we can use one less RN, but I don't think that's gonna help. That just means that they're not gonna be as far into all those crits, right? Like... I mean... I'll try it, but I don't think this is gonna do it. Jeez, that was something else. Actually, let's do this. I think that'll get the speed ring equipped, which will provide a little bit more void. Not much, but a little. Yeah.
My life was.
Okay, well, yeah, so she missed and then she crit. Which means, yeah, they're just not as far into this set of crits. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. This is ridiculous. Oh, I guess this thing didn't crit. But still, I mean, I don't know what Ladislava's crit rate was, I didn't notice, but that was an 8% crit on a 60-something. Here we got a 14% crit. Like, what? What in the world? This is so absurd. Alright, I'm just gonna restart. Like, I don't even want to deal with this. This is ridiculous. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Confirmed that I did not forget to fill anyone's inventory. I just have some swords that I didn't give anyone, which is fine. Okay, let's try that again.
I have a report.
Thank you. Okay, so this time we're actually going to start with Constance because that makes more sense. I don't know why I didn't do that. For... Oh, the other thing I should do...
My turn?
Is equip Meteor until I move Hanneman so that he can support... which I think I forgot to do last time as well, so...
To work. Stay focused.
Battle.
Why waste it?
It's simple logic. Sure thing.
Okay.
Guide me well.
All according to Keikaku so far.
Let me at him.
Alright, now you need to equip that. Trade that. It's fun that you can do this. I love the like multi-trading thing. Not to mention being able to use the convoy as well. It's great.
I need a nap.
My life.
3% crit. Like, what was going on that enemy phase? Like, good grief. That's more like what I normally see happen is, like, this guy actually survive. Wait, what? So that's getting doubled? Oh, crap!
I cannot allow myself to fall.
Because I didn't give him the speed carrots. I didn't even think about that. Like I said, I wanted to give them to him all the last time I had tried it. Oh, no!
I'm grateful.
Okay, we're gonna have to... Man, even Lancebreaker didn't save him, huh? What are the odds of him getting hit there? Alright, actually, let's just skip through this. Yeah. Okay. So 113 to hit. 105 to hit.
Guide me well.
Oh, you know, he doesn't even have Lancebreaker equipped because he doesn't need it for next chapter. Yep. Okay. Oh boy. He can one-shot this enemy, and if he does... But then Flame is further away. Is that a problem? The Flame is here instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 actually. Well, not 7, 6, but I mean that's where she'd end up going. Chimerian's up here. 1, 2, 3. No, it's not a problem. Okay, I think I'm gonna actually have to restart this again. I mean, maybe I could find a way. Like if he got a Killer Lance crit, for example, that would do the trick. But you know, if he didn't, then I guess I could try it. But I think this the reliable solution here is switch their deployment spots. Have Seth kill the archer instead. Have Balthus kill the mage. I don't think... Let's see, 40 and 40. I don't think there's any way that they're killing him. No, 22 and 22. He's fine. They might even prefer to go for Seth. Well, at least one of them would go for Seth. But like then they can't. These two can't both attack Seth if he's over here. Is the point? All right. Well, we'll try. I mean, yes. Assume 16 crit. Yeah, that's lower. So we'll try this, see if we manage to get the crit. No. Oh, he canceled him, though. That doesn't actually help. Yeah, that does not actually help. Oh, you know what? If he goes here, and the armor knight attacks him first, that's the solution. That is the solution.
Guide me well.
they... I mean, they can both attack him, but only if this guy attacks first, and I don't think he will. Based on the fact that he didn't before. So I lied. All was not, in fact, according to Keikaku. My apologies.
Let me at him.
Gotta do this nonsense again. Okay, give me that. That. Alright, gotta equip Intone.
Very helpful.
Okay.
My life is...
Accelerate through this stuff a bit. We know what the outcomes are gonna be. Oh, we went for Balthus. I guess that makes sense. Balthus is not doing a lot on the counter. That's fine. We can still pick up a kill. For each of them.
Let's keep at it.
Still in.
I don't know what the green units do here matters. I mean, I guess that stun on that Pegasus does make it easier to secure a kill for
The enemy
Yuri.
has taken the entrances where the reinforcements were headed.
That won't do. The stronghold.
Yeah, we don't need reinforcements. Okay, so first thing I want to check is... Does Balthus safely kill this guy? Yeah, he does. That's good. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do
Be mindful.
is kill this guy with... Actually, wait. No. The first thing we're gonna do... Rescue... Shamir. Wow!
They say experience feeds growth.
Apparently so. Alright, and then...
To work.
a stride. Big ol' stride. Whoosh.
I'm grateful.
Now,
Sure thing.
Yuri, unfortunately, should not be capable of killing Ladislava. I could have gotten him that kill, well, if she hadn't gotten healed, or if I had him pull onto the Brave Bow, but I decided it was more important to repair it than for him to get that specific kill. So I think what we're gonna do instead is go for this kill. Still good enough to get him a level, so... That's true, he did get luck. Well spotted. Alright, then we are going to kill this guy with Byleth.
Splendid attack.
And then we're going to head over here to provide support for the attacks over here. Since we can't support the attacks in the Edelgard and nobody else is going to be making any attacks. Balthus. This guy out. Seteth.
I have
Take
faith.
this guy out. There's no reason not to use this. Okay, and then we want to
Yep.
trade the Caduceus Staff over to Hanneman. Warp him. We don't really need to warp him that far because of the stride, but might as well. Seal needs to get to... Is it here?
Battle.
He didn't need the stride to get that far, but I think from where he was, yeah, like he was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he was like would have been one space short. So we're gonna meteor this guy. Boom. And that's gonna do some splash damage to Edelgard. Then I'm gonna do it again. Just double check. Constance.
The sun.
Yep, okay. I tried a strategy that involved just doing one meteor, and they ended up, between Hanneman and Constance, they ended up like 1 damage short of getting the kill. So this is what I ended up going with instead.
There is much to learn.
Well, 2 damage short if Hanneman didn't get that magic on level up, which like he would have leveled up from attacking with Meteor the previous turn if he didn't need to use it twice this turn. Also, it involved having the trading the magic staff around, which I have instead actually left for Dorothea so that she can use it next chapter because she can actually do some damage. Anyway, we'll get to that next chapter. For now, wait, do we have anything else to do? No, we don't. Okay. This is still taking way too long for a 2-turn clear, but take the Caduceus Staff. And we do actually need every bit of range here, as you can see.
So, House Nouvelle has chosen the path that will lead to its ultimate demise. How pitiable.
As you say, I have forfeited my claim on being a noble of the Empire. That is why you must permit me to challenge you in combat, that I may establish a new House Nouvelle.
As you wish. Let's see if your resolve is a match for my own.
Yep. Oh, well, I guess I didn't need to do... If I'd known she was going to crit... Oh. I mean, I suppose that would be... Oh, she got speed. Nice. No magic, though. That's probably more important, to be honest. I think... you knew Constance was going to crit. Which, I mean, how could you know that? But I guess if you were willing to re-roll until she did, I think you could do this in 1 turn with my team. Like, I've got... Let's see. The problem is that Byleth is in that, like, front center spot. So you can only get, like, 2 units that are, like, really, you know, close and up front. So you could... I mean, you could still stride for those 3 units. And you could have a Warper up there. Or a Dancer, but not both. But maybe you could get Happy... well, undoubtedly with Rescue, you could get Happy into range to warp without having her being close up front. So you could have Linhart be the other unit in front. So you'd have, like, Byleth would be flanked by Linhart and Constance. And then, you know, off to one side you'd have, like, Flane and Happy, so Flane can rescue Happy. And off to another side you'd have somebody with Stride. And you'd run down Stride for Constance and Linhart. Warp. Well, actually, wait. With the dance, how much is the warp? You'd kind of need a second warp, wouldn't you? I don't know. Maybe you would. Maybe what you could end up doing is like rescuing both, like warpers in from both sides. One of them would be Manuela in that case, and then you would like the other rescuer could actually be Constance herself because she gets danced, so she could actually. That's what you would do. You would warp. Maybe you'd also deploy Anna if you needed extra movement to get somebody else over to warp, or to get Manuela over to warp. But basically, ideally, you would warp both you'd warp both Constance and Linhardt forward. You'd have Constance fly forward, rescue Linhardt. Linhardt would dance for her, and then she would fly forward again. Anyway, the point is, if she could one-shot Edelgard, like, you could definitely do it in a turn, doing something like that. But because she can't, we've got this. Except that she could have if I'd known she was going to crit. So, there you go. Maybe if you farm for magic stat boosters the whole time instead of speed carrots like I've been doing, then you can buff her magic to the point where she could one-shot. But I don't know, she wasn't particularly close. She's like... more than 10 damage away for sure. Like, how much splash damage was Hanneman doing? I don't know. I want to say she was close to 20 damage short. Like, Hanneman was doing 15 plus in splash damage, and she needed a little bit more than what he could do in one. So, yeah, that would be a lot of whatever the magic boosting item is that I don't now remember. Anyway, oh, I guess we're actually going to continue from this point, because there's potentially, like, time skip story stuff that's specific to this route, so... Probably.
You fought well, but now your fight is over.
Yeah, this is going to be the same.
Troops. What?
Charlotte's probably been continuing on instead of jabbering. Without continuing on, that is. Yeah, this is going to be the same cutscene with Rhea and all that.
In Imperial Year 1181, the new Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresfeld,
this is also going to be the same.
Strategic assault against the monastery at Garreg Mach. Though her own losses were great.
Rhea disappeared.
Part 2. Silver Snow. Ethereal Moon. Reunion at Dawn. It is Imperial Year 1185. Nearly 5 years have passed since the fall of the monastery at Garreg Mach, and war continues to plague the lands of Fodlan. Ferdiad has been captured. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in shambles. The Leicester Alliance is on the verge of collapse, fractured by two opposing factions. Those who support the Adrestian Empire and its ruler, and those
this is all the
who seek
same
her
too.
demise. Meanwhile, under Emperor Edelgard's rule of law, the Adrestian Empire continues to expand its reach. The path to a new Fodlan, unified by Imperial strength, may yet be in sight.
You.
That's definitely going to be the same. Oh, here we go.
Why am I even here? I know they won't come, but here I am anyway. How has it already been 5 years? Time stops for no one, I suppose. Huh? It's you! What are you doing here?
Where else would she go?
Highly doubtful.
You'd definitely say that no matter what I picked.
What have you been doing all this time? Joking at a time like this. Well, if you don't wish to tell me, I won't try to persuade you. All that matters is this. Will you return to the Empire with me?
It feels weird to, like, put this question to the player in a situation where they can't say yes. I mean, like, why have a decision? I guess because every time Violet talks, there's like a decision to make, but yeah.
Hesitation. It betrays your true answer. That means we're enemies now, you and I. My teacher, the time for discussion has come to an end.
Even though our swords may cross as they do now.
There's no denying that our chosen paths never will.
Stab her on the back! End the war!
Goodbye, my teacher. When next we meet,
Get her! Come on!
breathe their last.
Guess not. I don't understand why Edelgard is wielding a sword there, like, or ever.
Who is it? Is that... It's you!
Yeah, this is actually a good question. Like, why is Seth here? He doesn't know about the reunion thing.
I was going to ask you
That
the
is
very same
fair.
thing. After you disappeared 5 years ago, do you have any idea how dire the church's situation became? Where were you? And what were you doing all of those years?
Oh, yeah, see, there I don't have an option. Why didn't it just do that?
You slept for 5 years. In that case, I suppose there is nothing more to say. You should know that Rhea also disappeared after the battle at Garreg Mach 5 years ago. Since then, the Knights have been fully devoted to searching for her. They have yet to find a trace. It is possible. However, the Empire has not made any such statement as of yet. Even if that were the truth, there is no way for us to confirm. We have searched all over, but we have reached an impasse. Unless we do something, our efforts to find Rhea and rebuild the church will be stalled indefinitely. Our opportunity to strike back is close at hand. Sadly, we are short on military strength. However, now we have you. Do you recall what Rhea told you 5 years ago?
Yeah.
She asked for you to take her place should anything ever happen to her. She entrusted you with leading the people of Fodlan.
Yeah. It's something that occurs to me. It's like, if Rhea's like chained up in a dungeon or something, why doesn't she just turn into a dragon? Like, wouldn't that like break her bonds? Like, I can't imagine that they have... Well, I guess it depends on how the transformation works. Like, because I guess I can imagine having manacles strong enough to, like, chain a dragon's limbs. And so if they were that strong, like, if she tried to transform, would she, like, rip her own hands off? Or would... What would happen? I don't know.
Then I beg of you, please heed her words. It is up to you to lead us, and to defeat the Empire. No, to defeat Edelgard.
Why me?
There is a very good reason, but it is not yet time to divulge it.
Isn't it, though?
Just know that without you, we have no hope.
Sir, bandits have entered the area. They stole some hidden weapons and ran off. They're heading for the town, so that might be where they're hiding out.
Vile thieves! Even with the Knights gone, I cannot believe they would dare trespass here. This is unforgivable. Come, Professor. Let us give chase!
You sure you want to do that, Seth? I'm pretty sure I'd rather you didn't. This seems rash.
In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus.
Alright.
Imperial loyalty.
So let's see how this compares.
Has subdued all regions of the former royal house of Bladed to prevent further revolt. Prince Dimitri has been sentenced. Now, the backbone of the former kingdom, Houses Gautier and Fraldarius, struggle to continue the resistance. Cornelia, operating out of the royal palace, has accepted the support of the Empire to build an army and plots to wipe out all remaining kingdom forces. In the Leicester Alliance, House Regan leads an anti-imperial faction, while House Gloucester directs the Empire's supporters. Despite the undeniable threat of fracture, the Alliance's adept new leader, Claude, deftly maintains the outward appearance of a unified front.
I think that's all the same as both Azure Moon and
the imperial capital of the Adrestian
Vermilion?
Empire. Emperor Edelgard fights to strengthen her regime. She has extended her reach to the kingdom by inciting a coup and continues to draw its former lords under her influence.
The only one where like
pursuit of
Vargas
control
isn't fractured
of
is
Western folk.
Crimson Flower. Because Dimitri doesn't go crazy.
In the meantime, the Knights of Seros have been dispatched to find Archbishop Rhea, who remains missing despite their searching. Left unattended, the monastery at Garreg Mach has fallen to ruin and become a haven for thieves.
And yeah, the Leicester Alliance thing I think happens in every route. Where you have to unify it if you're in Verdant Wind, or if it's just like in an awkward spot in the other routes. Maybe it doesn't happen in Crimson Flower, but again, I think this is all the same as those two routes. Well, I think that's the end of the story stuff for next chapter. Yep, looks that way.
Looters deserve no forgiveness. After them.
What the? Intruders! Protect the goods!
Alright, well, we're obviously doing...
Stop the thieves.
We're obviously doing this chapter next episode, but what I will say for now is that Seteth, like... I feel like this is kind of, what do I want to say? For Seteth to insist on, like, going out and wiping out this, like, small army of enemies with just the two of them without waiting for backup is pretty out of character. Like, for Dimitri, it makes total sense. He's like, rah, bloodthirsty, kill them all. Like, sure, okay, that makes sense. Claude, I guess it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for Claude either. But the difference is that Claude has the expectation, and Dimitri, too, has the expectation that, like, the other students are going to show up and help them out. Seteth doesn't even know that that's happening, right? Like, he wasn't part of it. He's like, what are you all doing here? Like, So, I don't know. This just strikes me as very foolish and just kind of adds another layer to how ridiculous this chapter is. But we'll talk more about how ridiculous this chapter is next episode. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.